Matt Miller, AI for Educators, Learning Strategies, Teacher Efficiencies, and a Vision for an Artificial Intelligence Future. We've all heard the stories. Students turning in essays generated by ChatGPT, teachers and professors struggling to identify authentic work. Today's educators face a real challenge as AI tools make it easier than ever for students to complete assignments without genuine learning. Yet, there's an opportunity here, a chance to reimagine how we build and assess student understanding in the first place. What if the rise of AI could push education towards something better? What if it forced us to move beyond outdated testing methods and towards deeper engagement? Instead of simply fighting against this technology, smart educators are discovering how AI can become a powerful teaching ally. In this blink, you'll learn practical strategies for using AI to create more engaging classrooms and free up time for what you do best: inspiring young minds. We'll explore new ways to grow and assess authentic understanding and show you how to prepare students for a future in which human creativity and AI capabilities work together. Let's get started. AI proofing your assessments. It's official. Traditional assessment tools like homework essays and papers were designed for a different era. So how do you gauge students' comprehension and critical thinking when AI can produce a convincing essay in seconds? Let's look at some options. Verbal assessments are one way of cutting through the AI noise. A student stands up and explains how photosynthesis works, for example, without notes or preparation. Their pauses, connections, and even struggles reveal genuine understanding in ways a polished AI-written paragraph never could. These impromptu explanations expose the difference between superficial knowledge and deep comprehension. Monitored in-class work offers another solution. When students solve problems or write responses while teachers observe, it becomes clear who understands the material and who doesn't. A student might work through a math problem in real time, showing their reasoning at each step and demonstrating a mastery that can't be faked. Another option is creative demonstrations. These can transform assessment into something more engaging. Instead of writing about the American Civil War, students might create a podcast episode exploring perspectives from different historical figures, or develop a visual timeline highlighting cause and effect relationships. Projects like these reveal not just what students know, but how they think about what they know. Group discussions build on this approach. When students debate literary themes or brainstorm together to solve problems, they're forced to articulate their understanding, respond to challenges, and refine their thinking on the spot. A student who can defend their analysis of Macbeth against peers' questions understands Shakespeare far better than one who can prompt AI to write an essay about it. But smart educators aren't just playing defense against AI, they're incorporating it as a tool that's powerfully supportive. AI can generate customized reading materials at various complexity levels, allowing teachers to meet each student where they are. A single class could have 20 different versions of the same core content, each tailored to individual learning needs. AI feedback transforms the learning cycle too. Instead of waiting days for a teacher's comments on an essay draft, students can receive instant guidance on structure, clarity, and development, freeing teachers to focus on deeper conceptual feedback during precious one-on-one time. Routine tasks that once consumed teachers' evenings, like grading multiple choice assessments or organizing curriculum materials, can now be handled by AI, creating space for what truly matters: meaningful human connection and mentorship. That's something no algorithm can provide. In this new landscape, AI is challenging education, but it's also pushing it to evolve into something better. The result may be students who not only know more, but can do more with what they know. Disrupting the classroom. In the history of education, technology has often been a disruptive force, raising concerns about its potential impact on students' learning and abilities. Yet time and again, educators and learners have adapted to these changes, finding ways to leverage new tools to enhance the educational experience. When digital calculators first became popular, many worried that students would lose their basic math skills. But these concerns proved unfounded. Students kept learning math without relying solely on calculators. When they did use them, it allowed them to focus on higher-level thinking instead of getting bogged down in rote calculations. The rise of internet search engines sparked similar fears. Would students retain information if they could just as easily look it up? But educators shifted focus, teaching students how to use these tools wisely and critically. Rather than just memorizing facts, students are now expected to know how to find, evaluate, and apply information effectively. The impact of artificial intelligence on chess provides another example. As chess engines like Stockfish rapidly improved, eventually surpassing even the world's best players, many predicted the game's demise. Yet not only is chess more popular today than ever, human chess skills have actually increased in the age of AI. Players have learned from the innovative strategies employed by chess engines, opening up new dimensions of play and pushing the boundaries of what's possible in the game. As with calculators and internet search, the rise of AI in education will undoubtedly bring challenges. But, as we'll see, the opportunities it brings shouldn't be overlooked. Amplifying good teaching. Let's look at some more thoughtful ways of using AI for engagement and learning. One place to start is using AI as an information source to help prepare lessons. Teachers can quickly generate background material, brainstorm discussion questions, or explore different perspectives on topics they're planning to cover. During one-on-one student meetings, teachers can pull up AI assistants in real time to help clarify concepts or provide additional context for questions that come up spontaneously. This shows students that learning is ongoing and that even teachers continue seeking out new information and understanding. Also valuable is incorporating AI directly into classroom discussions. When a tricky question surfaces during class, teachers can demonstrate how to query AI systems effectively, showing students both how to ask good questions and how to evaluate the responses critically. It's a natural opportunity to teach digital literacy skills. Teachers can point out limitations and question AI responses to help model critical thinking. AI also excels at generating examples on demand. Need multiple scenarios to explain a scientific principle? No problem. By rapidly generating examples, teachers can adapt their explanations in real time, helping concepts click for different learning styles. Another promising application involves what are called think, pair, share activities. In traditional think, pair, share, students first think individually about a question or topic, then pair up to discuss their thoughts, and finally share their insights with the whole class. You can use an AI consultation phase to make this process even richer. Here's how it works. Students complete the initial thinking and pair discussion stages as usual. Then, before sharing with the class, each pair consults AI about their ideas, testing their reasoning, exploring counter-arguments, or gathering additional information. They return to their partner discussion with these new insights, refining their understanding. Then they present the results to the group. These two extra steps, encourage students to engage more critically with both their own thinking and external information sources. Rather than replacing teachers, these approaches show how AI can amplify what good teachers already do. Next, let's look at a few more ways you can use AI to enhance your students' learning experience. Accessing new points of view. AI offers exciting new ways to help students develop critical thinking and historical understanding through interactive experiences that would be impossible in traditional classrooms. One powerful application involves using AI as a debate partner. Students can pick any issue they're studying and engage in structured arguments with AI, which can adjust its communication style and sophistication level to match the student's abilities. A ninth grader exploring environmental policy might debate climate change solutions with an AI that responds at their level. This approach feels less intimidating than debating classmates. There's no social pressure or fear of looking foolish in front of peers. Students can take risks, try out half-formed ideas, and learn from mistakes without embarrassment. Another tip: have the students and AI switch positions mid-debate. A student who initially argues for stricter regulations might then be asked to defend the opposite viewpoint. This perspective flipping forces students to engage more deeply with the material and builds empathy by drawing on multiple sides of complex issues. It's one thing to know your own position. It's another to genuinely comprehend why people disagree. Teachers can also use AI to help students engage with history and culture through character role play. Instead of just reading about the American Revolution, students can have actual conversations with simulated historical figures. They might interview Benjamin Franklin about his diplomatic strategies, debate taxation with King George III, or discuss daily life with a medieval shopkeeper. These interactions make history feel immediate and personal in ways that textbooks can't. The approach works equally well for exploring different cultural perspectives. Students studying global literature might converse with an AI representing a classical Japanese poet. Or when learning about economic systems, they could chat with a Depression-era farmer, a 1950s factory worker, and a modern-day entrepreneur from different countries, each sharing how economic forces shaped their lived experiences. These guided AI conversations help students understand that historical events weren't inevitable. They resulted from real people making decisions based on their circumstances, values, and available information. What makes these applications especially valuable is how they encourage active learning. Students aren't passively consuming information, they're questioning, challenging, and exploring ideas through dialogue. They develop not just knowledge, but also the analytical skills to consider multiple perspectives and articulate their own thinking, capabilities that will serve them long after they leave the classroom. Reclaiming time for what really matters. So, we've discussed how teachers can use AI in the classroom. But what about all the work educators do behind the scenes? As mentioned earlier, one immediate application is feedback on routine student writing. Instead of students submitting an essay and waiting for teacher comments, AI can provide detailed feedback within minutes. A student might receive suggestions about thesis clarity, paragraph structure, or argument development before their teacher even sees a draft. This creates a feedback loop that was impossible before. Students can revise multiple times, with AI catching mechanical issues and structural problems, while teachers reserve their energy for deeper conceptual guidance during the final review. Think of it as a tiered feedback system. AI handles the first round, then teachers dive into the substantive work, challenging assumptions, pushing students toward more sophisticated analysis, or connecting ideas to broader themes. Students get more total feedback than ever before, but teachers aren't drowning in repetitive comments about comma splices. Administrative tasks that once ate up evening and weekend hours can also become more manageable. Need a quiz on cellular respiration? AI can generate 20 multiple-choice questions at various levels of difficulty. Planning a unit on the Industrial Revolution? AI can draft discussion prompts, suggest primary source documents, and outline key concepts to cover. Teachers aren't bound by these initial outputs, of course. They're merely starting points to be shaped according to each teacher's vision and their students' specific needs. Few teachers became educators because they loved grading grammar or formatting lesson plan templates. Now, AI can handle the routine cognitive work that teachers have long done by necessity, not by choice. When AI takes over the time-consuming but relatively straightforward tasks, teachers can spend more time on what actually matters, inspiring curiosity, guiding discovery, and helping young minds grow. Preparing students for a world with AI. Let's face it, the future that today's students will enter remains, in many ways, unknown. Just a few years ago, everyone was told they needed to learn to code, that programming was the career path of the future. Now all that has changed. Junior coding positions are becoming increasingly scarce as AI systems tackle routine programming tasks. The speed of this shift highlights a broader truth. What exactly tomorrow's economy will look like is hard to predict. One thing we do know is that students will need to be adaptable. The jobs they'll hold might not even exist today, and the tools they'll use are likely to evolve at great speed. Therefore, instead of trying to guess which specific skills will matter in 20 years, educators should focus on building students' capacity to learn and adapt continuously. In the future, it's likely that people across a wide range of fields will interact with AI tools regularly. A marketing professional might use AI to analyze consumer trends, while a doctor might consult AI systems for diagnostic support. Given this reality, students need to develop what's called prompt engineering, the ability to communicate effectively with AI systems to get useful results. Prompt engineering involves understanding how to frame problems clearly, provide relevant context, and iterate on requests to achieve better outcomes. A student researching climate change, for example, might start with a broad prompt like "explain global warming," then refine it to compare the effectiveness of carbon pricing versus renewable energy subsidies in reducing emissions. Learning to craft precise, purposeful prompts has become as fundamental as learning to use a search engine once was. But this AI-integrated future comes with significant risks. AI systems can produce convincing but incorrect information, what researchers call hallucinations. A well-crafted AI response about historical events might contain subtle factual errors. An AI-generated scientific explanation might sound authoritative while missing crucial nuances. Students must become critical consumers of AI-generated content, developing the same skeptical eye they need for evaluating social media posts or news articles. This means checking sources, cross-referencing claims, and understanding AI's limitations. AI for Educators by Matt Miller is that AI isn't just a threat to education, it's also a huge opportunity. Instead of making students lazy or replacing teachers, we can use AI to help push education beyond rote memorization toward critical thinking and deeper understanding. AI can help students engage in debate, carry out historical role play, and get instant feedback and assistance. Meanwhile, teachers can use AI to handle routine tasks like grading and help with lesson prep. The goal isn't replacing human intelligence, but extending it. As AI handles more routine work, human connection will only become more valuable. The ability to collaborate, empathize, communicate clearly, and build relationships. These distinctly human skills may become the most precious ones students can learn.